Well, Governor Ducey has not briefed reporters or the public in person on the state of the pandemic now in several weeks.
He gave a virtual State of the State address this afternoon, spending a good amount of time defending his pandemic response, saying any more extreme measures would do more harm than good.
With more COVID patients in our hospitals than ever before and that high rate of cases, the governor had this to say to critics who want tougher restrictions or even a lockdown.
It's a question that only makes sense if you forget about everything else. All the other troubles that lockdowns set in motion. The rest of life doesn't stop in a pandemic. Least of all, our basic responsibilities.
The governor indicating many Arizona workers have to pay bills and don't have the option to work remotely.
Political editor Dennis Welch live in the newsroom. And Dennis, he had a pretty clear message for those critics who claim he's just not doing enough.
Yeah, you know, the governor has said over and over, too, that there is no state out there that's a best practice model that you can model for Arizona. So what he is basically saying that they're doing the best they can. In some cases, it hasn't been good enough. But I want to bring in right now the new House Minority Leader, Reginald Boulding. You've heard, thoughts of the governor. You've heard his speech. Now, I want to get your thoughts, Mr. Boulding, particularly on the governor's response and his comments about how he's handled the COVID-19 pandemic so far.
Well, right now, what we see here in Arizona is that there's been 10,000 deaths, over 10,000 deaths, and over 600,000 cases. The reality is people in Arizona are scared. They want a plan in place, and they want to know that the government is actually ready to make sure that we can move forward and remedy this thing. You know, right now, vaccines are in the process of going through. We've heard again about some of the hiccups with that process, but we need a plan in place right now. I'm happy to say that House Democrats have actually introduced a plan, and we hope the governor picks up that plan and uses it.
Yeah, I was going to get to that as well, because Democrats did release their priorities for the legislative year. Always gets overshadowed by the governor's proposals of the day. Now, some of the things you have proposed deals directly with some of the collateral damage from this pandemic. You're talking about unemployment insurance. You're talking about other issues like that, rental evictions. Maybe take us through and tell us what you guys want, because I didn't hear anything in the governor's speech that was addressing what your priorities are.
Yeah, I mean, right now what we're seeing here in Arizona is that we have a social safety net that really has not been able to provide our families, our most vulnerable families, with what they actually need. And we put forth the plan that's going to ensure that we are able to help people stay in their homes through rental and mortgage assistance, that we're extending the eviction moratorium, and that we're actually helping small businesses get afloat. We truly believe that frontline workers and children and teachers, that they deserve support, and we have plans in place to help them do that. And we just hope that the governor takes a bipartisan approach this year, so we can actually move forward as a state of lawmakers to really do what we can for the people of Arizona.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, but that's all the time we have for now. I'll have to toss it to you guys back in the studio.